Last time on the Leverage Lounge podcast.
First of all, what's your favorite project that you've either worked on or are currently working on that you want people to know about?
Well, it's your clients, of course.
Well, see, this is why you're on.
I was waiting to see what you were going to say.
That was good. Right on time. That was perfect. Welcome to the Leverage Lounge, the podcast where high-performing entrepreneurs pull back the curtain and reveal how they scale using people, systems, tech, and capital. Patrick Bianchi brings a sharp edge from the commercial brokerage world, and Victor Berriel adds the legal expertise and global investor connections. Together, they've built something that's not just scalable, but sustainable.
Thank you so much
Good morning,
for that
Mike.
info, man.
Good morning.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Good to see you, Mike.
Good day. I'm really excited to have you guys on. We'll talk a little bit about how we met and the projects that we have going on through some mutual clients and all of that stuff, man. But I just want to dive right into it and find out about how you came up with this. So you guys are both the co-owners, co-founders of VP Development Enterprises. What inspired you both to launch VP Development in Claremont? And how did your backgrounds in brokerage and law inform that early vision?
Well, you don't have the V without the P, so you don't have the Victor without the Patrick. So that's how we came up with the name. I worked at a real estate firm at the time, was Avalar Real Estate. It was a very boutique brokerage in the Claremont area region of Lake County. And I was kind of known as the land guy. So I had a lot of land listings, mainly in commercial. Through my tenure there from 2014 onward, there was a gentleman that came into the brokerage that our broker was like, hey, you have to meet this guy. I think that you would take a liking to him, and I think you guys can make a good team. So that's kind of how it started. So Victor can talk about his perspective, but that's at least how it was communicated to me.
It was the same exact way, Mike. We worked at the same real estate company, didn't really know each other. And then our broker, she said the same thing to me. She's like, hey, Victor, your energy and your contacts, you have to meet Pat Bianchi. He's young, energetic, extremely smart. He's very well connected in Claremont. And I'm like, okay. And I'm a lone wolf guy, man. I'm solo. I'm not used to working with other people. That's just my personality. Nothing against working with other people. It's just I've never had that opportunity before. So when I met Patrick, it was kind of a perfect business marriage because I came from a legal background where I worked in immigration, and I had tons of international clients that were interested in building, investing, developing for visa purposes. So when I was in Avalar, I had the clients, but I didn't have the projects or the properties. And then enters Patrick, and he had all the perfect properties for my clients to purchase. So we're like, hey, if we put 1 and 2 together, we have the magic sauce. That's the gravy train right there.
That's good, man. It's like love at first sight. You guys saw each other and were like, you're exactly who I've been looking for my whole life.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I love it. Now, you guys emphasize client communication and ongoing partnerships. So how did that become like a core differentiator for you and your firm?
Client communication is incredible for us because in our world, things change, and they change very rapidly, from updates for when materials are being delivered, things are being inspected, many different phases of the project. And we always found in this construction industry, and it's actually why we got into development in the first place, and when you are the person controlling the project and you have the client, and outside of your control, you have other third parties that won't communicate as efficiently as your client need them to, or it's their part of the deal to uphold their end of the bargain and deliver, it kind of creates frustrations and fragmentations, and it puts us in a very difficult situation where we wanted to communicate with our clients, but we had nothing positive to communicate. That's why we created VP Development. We're going to create a system where we can control the entire scope of the project from A to Z, so that now if something falls apart, it's 100% our fault. The responsibility is on our shoulders. So now we have systems that Patrick put together, which is a live timeline. So our customers get a system where they can see every day what's happening. We also put a chronological calendar to let them know the expectations for what's to come. Because the main thing we identified is managing customers' expectations and managing customers' anxiety. And anxiety only builds up with time if you don't answer the customer's phone call, if you keep them in the dark. Nobody, I don't care how complex or how simple the transaction is, no one likes to be in a position where they don't know what's happening. So we try to over-communicate. If you leave them at ease, that's all they want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that when you're able to anticipate your customers' needs, then you can build a bigger business. You can build a better business. And so when you do that and you do it effectively and you see where it worked and where it didn't work, you just kind of tweak those levers. And you brought up a really good point. We all know success is a team sport. Success is rarely ever a solo sport. Nobody gets to success by themselves. And so you guys saw all of these imperfections, let's say, in the process, the way you started out doing it. And then you said, you know what? Let's create VP development enterprises and bring this thing in-house. For some people, that could be the kiss of death because it becomes a control problem. Now they want to control everything, which means that they want to do it all themselves. So question to you guys, how have you built your team?
There's a front-facing aspect to our business, and then there's a behind the scenes. And to kind of bridge the gap between front and back.
Be sure to catch the Leverage Lounge podcast live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on YouTube.